And welcome back to more Gravity Rush Remastered! So last time, we met the man of our destiny. So this time, we're starting out by having to find him again. So let's head back out to the city, through the fast travel system. If I'm not mistaken, he should be near the town square over here. And also, let's check the mission description. I couldn't believe it. After all the work it took to find him, the old man just vanished in a puff of smoke on me. And that creator thing, was he serious? The guy might have had a few tricks up his sleeves, but he couldn't be that powerful. Even if he wasn't the man of my destiny, maybe he was supposed to play a part in it. I had to go find him and ask some questions. And he is right over there, so let's pick up this gem along the way and talk to him. Hey, old man, what's everyone staring at? The universe ripped their families and homes away. They're all waiting for the day the universe gives back what it has taken from them. Is that day coming? That depends on you. The door to a new world is about to open. Beyond it lies the truth about your power. I don't get it. What door? Will you help them? I would if I could, but how do I know where their families are? It is time. What the heck? Come with me to another world. Episode 6, The Lost City. What is this place? This is the world beyond. The missing people are trapped here, along with their town. You! Hey, where are you? This world and yours are kept apart for good reason, but someone has brought the two together. You must enter into this world and restore that which was taken. You use a lot of someones and somethings when you speak. If you want to be vague, that's fine, but keep it simple. Very well then. Follow the flowers to find the missing part of town. How's that? Follow the flowers, got it. Fear not, a good creator never gives the worthy an impossible challenge. I have faith in you. Wait, don't leave me here. If you're such a good creator, why don't you just save the town yourself? Don't run away when I'm talking, old man. Welcome to the Rift Plane. We immediately start out with an encounter with some Nevi, only 3 of them, so this shouldn't be too bad, especially because we did upgrade our abilities last time. So let's not overshoot our gravity kicks and try this again. Like so. The flower bloomed. I think I should follow the light. When all of the Nevi in the area have been defeated, the flowers in the Rift Plane will bloom to show the way forward. Follow their light to bring back the missing part of town. Alright, so let's fly over to this next area, where we have more Nevi to fight. Maybe if I take out the Nevi, that flower will bloom too. This one has a shell, again, and 3 cores, so this one's a little bit tougher than the ones we've seen so far, at least tougher to hit, at least. I do think this kind of shows some of the problems with the combat. It's very easy to miss attacks even when locked on, and because you're controlling gravity, it can also make things a little bit disorienting at the same time. So yeah, overall combat is definitely not this game's strongest point, sadly. But luckily, like, there really isn't a ton of combat, all things considered. So you've come to understand the meaning behind the flowers. Hey, where's the missing part of town already? it awaits beyond. You must first rise and meet the challenge to save its people. Don't forget that the flowers lead the way, and my name is not Hey, it's Gade, the creator. Right. Hey, I'd better get going. Thanks for the help. So the game is now telling us about speed falling, which we already knew about, but one cool thing about Gravity Rush is how a lot of abilities are unlocked at the beginning, like this and the Gravity Slide that we went over last time, but even before the game explicitly tells you about these moves, you can still use them, which is nice. They're not locked to you, which is definitely better than a lot of games that lock moves until you get to a specific tutorial about that specific technique. So we have enemies on the wall, so that's a little bit tougher because we have to fight in midair a lot more, but overall not too bad still. Alright, there we go. Is this what that fortune teller meant by a man who would open the door to a new world? Most likely. Another shell enemy. So yeah, again, combat is just okay, I'd say. Not horrible by any means, but definitely I think one of the less interesting parts of the game. Overall, I feel like this game has a unique sense of style, and like its characters and story are interesting enough, even though the gameplay is sometimes not super exciting. By the way, this is when you're supposed to learn about gravity sliding. Like, I really like this view here. This is a good time to talk about how this game handles draw distance, where you can see distant surroundings, but they are rendered with less detail, but you can still see outlines on them of different things in that area. It's a really cool way to represent distant areas without having to render out the whole thing in a lot of detail, especially because this was originally a Vita game, so they obviously had to find creative ways with the art direction to compensate for the handheld hardware. And overall, I think this game still looks really good for the most part. There are a couple things that definitely haven't aged super well. What is this place? Is this where the Nevi come from? Yeah, the game hasn't aged well in all regards, but overall I do think this game still holds up surprisingly well, and the HD remaster, while looking very similar to the original, definitely has a few upgrades as well. By the way, a hidden power is concealed in this world. It exists away from the path of the flowers. Huh? But I don't have time to wander around. Sometimes the long route is the best route. Follow the flowers, don't follow the flowers. I wish he'd make up his mind, though that hidden power does sound intriguing. So, I don't think I've talked about this yet, but the remastered version of Gravity Rush runs at a higher resolution than the Vita, and also runs at a higher frame rate of 60 frames per second versus 30. It's actually really cool, but also kind of bad in some ways, because when floating, because of the motion controls, I do feel like it almost is more disorienting at 60 FPS than 30 FPS, but overall I do prefer the higher frame rate. I really like high frame rates in games, even over like 4K resolutions. There's a strange aura coming off that tree, so let's investigate. Whoa, I somehow feel stronger. With the spiraling claw, you can spin dive toward the center of the screen and tear enemies to pieces. The red signal in the center of the gravity gauge charges up over time. Once it's charged, press triangle to use it. So we have unlocked our first special attack, which will definitely help to break up the monotony of the combat a little bit. And lo and behold, we have a few enemies to fight, so let's show this off. I better not overdo it chasing down those flying Nevi, thus he can't keep shifting forever. So basically, don't fall. The spiraling claw works better against really strong enemies or groups of enemies close together. On one enemy, it's kind of overkill like that. But luckily it does recharge fairly quickly. Wow, this enemy is being kind of annoying, actually. There we go. Alright, so where do we have to go this time? So, looks like down there. I am kind of looking around to see if there's anything else worth exploring, and I don't think there is yet. So let's keep moving. Looks like there's another flower down there, and that means probably more Nevi as well. See, it already recharged, which is good because there are quite a few Nevi. So let's try this again, see how this works. It's definitely difficult to hit a lot of enemies with, as you saw. Sometimes it feels like it kind of locks onto enemies. In that case, I don't think it did. So that was kind of a whiff there. Come on, where's that missing town? So, overall, I do think this area is actually pretty cool looking. I still haven't actually played the sequel even, but I assume, being made for the PS4, it actually would look a lot better than this game that was originally optimized for the Vita instead. Gravity Rush was actually originally supposed to be a PS3 game. It started development, I want to say around like 2008, around the time that Sony's Japan studio finished up Siren Blood Curse for PS3, so it actually was in development for a while before moving over to the Vita. Is that the missing part of town? He was right, the flowers showed the way. Very good, you've arrived at last. The master of the Rift Plane lies ahead. To govern this plane, you must master the master. In other words, I have to take it down? You're catching on. By the way, this is not the only missing area. There are 2 more out there. 2 more? They lie in other Rift Planes, but you must conquer this one before you can conquer the others. I think it's time to finish up here. Before we go any further, we fought a lot of Nevi and collected a lot of precious gems. So let's stop for a moment and see what we can upgrade. Because we've been doing a lot of fighting, I'm tempted to upgrade the gravity kick, but we actually don't have enough gems. So instead, I'll upgrade recovery time for the gravity gauge and our health, and let's also go with the gauge usage. So that's maxed out for now, but as we get further into the game, we'll be able to upgrade that further, beyond level 5. And even along this path, there are even more gems, so I do like to have a lot of gems on hand, because we do need them to unlock more challenge missions, and in general, challenge missions are really good places to get a lot of gems if you can get the gold rank on them. There is also a trophy for gold ranks. It's actually a little bit glitchy, but I'll talk about that a little bit later. But with that, we've almost reached the part of town. I think that thing's in charge here. This is also a good point to mention that one area where the graphics I think do falter a little bit are the characters' expressions in real-time cutscenes. Like, right there, Cat really didn't seem that fazed by this giant Nevi showing up. But overall, I do like the use of also, like, comic-style cutscenes for the bulk of the storytelling. I think that's a good direction to go, again, because of this being a handheld game and not really being able to pull off like really fancy like real-time cutscenes. So yeah, I think that decision makes a lot of sense. So this Nevi has 2 cores on its like face, essentially like eyes, and it has a 3rd core towards the bottom of it like that. So we have to attack this, trying to be very careful, and also we should use our special on this. That did a lot of damage, and now that its health bar has been depleted, we can try out a finisher. Who put you up to this? Was it ballsy? Well, you're not gonna get away with it. Wait, who the? Now ladies, can't you two get along? If not for your sakes, then how about for mine? That was a close shave. Who is the girl, and why is she screwing things up? Are you helping her? You'd better not be, or I'm gonna have to take you down too. Raven, I believe there's been a misunderstanding. You're not seeing the big picture here. The woman, Raven, was like me. She had a strange pet and a strange power to go with it. She was too strong though. I knew I didn't have a choice, so I ran. Old Town freed at last. Cheerful reunions fill the streets of Altnor. Who was the mysterious cat girl, and where did these gravity shifters come from? My reputation seems to be improving. With Altnor and its train station back in one piece, the train line is now operational. Cat can board the train at the station to access another town in Hekseville. I need a change of pace. Maybe I should check out that train station I brought back. One thing worth pointing out before we go any further is the PS4 version includes all of the DLC missions from the original release. So for example, we have a DLC mission unlocked. We're not going to do this DLC mission yet because there's an ability that will make this a lot easier. So I actually want to upgrade before trying this mission. But also, the DLC packs include challenge missions. So for example, the Altnor Free Race 2, which we will be doing at a later time, does not require gems to unlock, because it is a DLC challenge. It is unlocked by default once you get to a certain point in the game, in this case after Chapter 6. But with that being said, we are going to explore a new part of town next time. So thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for more Gravity Rush Remastered.